Mother Earth. Our Earth is the most beautiful planet in our solar system. As far as we know, Earth is the only planet that has life on it. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed.
Nature can bring a lot of beauty to our lives, and it's very sad to think that our future generations will not have that natural things to enjoy as we have had.
I sometimes stare at the sky and wonder why we have made such a mess of things. And I wonder how can we tear up the seas and use up the trees, all in the name of progress.
Now, the Earth's atmosphere has already warmed by 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit since the 1900s. The carbon that we are releasing into the atmosphere today is in the process of programming. There is a potential of 2.5 meters of the sea level to rise by the year 2300. Do you know that over 6 billion hectares of mature forests once stood in our Mother Earth? However, imagine losing half of it. Because currently, we only have about 3 billion hectares left.
We already taken 80% of the original Asian frontier forest. Over 1.2 billion of our human family lack adequate water every day. Over 1 million of our human relatives go hungry every year, and 30,000 of them actually starve to death every single day.
But the question is, why are this happening to us? Why are this happening to our Mother Earth?
The answer is simple.
Because of us people, we are the main reasons.
Because we, humans, wants to enjoy life to its best. But then, we are up to our limitations.
Because people are irresponsible. We are so irresponsible.
We are just taking Earth for granted.
We don't know it is important, that's why we don't care about our environment.
People lack knowledge about where our actions could take us. Because we are selfish.
We won't realize how important it is until it gets worse and gone.
What will you do after Mother Earth took her revenge and take all this advantage to us without us knowing?
Are you just going to just sit and watch this happen? Is it just okay to just live it up like this to the next generation without knowing if there is really a next generation?
So what should we do? What are we going to do?
Go clean, go green, or just simply go clean and green.
Going green means embracing a way of life that helps preserve the environment by reducing, reusing, and recycling items.
It is a concept of learning and practicing an environmentally mindful lifestyle that contributes towards protecting the environment and preservation and conservation of the natural resources, habitats, and biodiversity.
So basically, to go clean and green is the key to one of the world's biggest problems.
It just asks people to be responsible again and more human for the sake of our Mother Earth.
So the question now is how? How should we go clean and green?
First and foremost is to practice self-discipline. Even for just a simple putting a little piece of trash in the right trash can help us big time for minimizing our waste pollution that may lead to other pollutions too. And I guess these things were pretty basic knowledge that has been in our mind for a long time, but we are just ignoring it for some reasons.
Also, practice saving more energy and water by using a more eco-friendly solar panels for electricity, or if you don't have that enough money, then just don't waste electricity and conserve more as possible, and same for the water.
Try also to drive less when you can, rather than using your own personal car. Try a carpool or use a public transportation. If your destination is close enough, maybe even consider walking or riding a bike.
And did you know that your diet can also help saving Earth? Yes, you heard it right. Believe me or not, diet can also play a huge part in the climate change battle. Consider eating less meat when you can, as the animal agriculture industries emit a large amount of greenhouse gases. The livestock sector, which includes things like feed production and transport, is responsible for around 14% of all greenhouse gas emissions around the globe.
You can also help out by doing the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce waste that regenerates, but instead of throwing it away, you may consider to donate it to those in need when it's still usable, just like your gadgets. Then reuse those wastes that can be used again, otherwise for being thrown, just like those plastic containers that may use for stock container. And recycle those wastes that can turn something useful, just like those plastic bottles into some wonderful creative product.
Planting trees and plants is very also helpful not just for us, but also to our environment. It helps us to bring more oxygen in this polluted world. Trees also help us to have stronger defense when strong typhoon is going to hit our place. And as we all know, if you are still aware in those happening in your surroundings, many animals are being endangered in their species, which they are getting extinct every other period. So these trees and plants may save their species by just letting them be there as their natural habitats.
Next is to minimize using plastics. Plastic is used across almost every sector in our life, such as to produce packaging, in building and construction, in textile, consumer products, transportation, electrical and electronics, and industrial machinery. These plastics are very harmful for us and our environment, so some ways to minimize using it is to not use it at all. Do not use a single-use plastic, such as disposable spoons and forks. Use cloth bags instead of plastic bags for the storage of market items. If these are not avoidable, we really must continue or start recycling and reusing it. For those who work in the industrial sector, try to promote and research about minimizing the use of plastics as the produced packaging, because this problem is one of the hardest in terms of consuming of plastics.
And lastly is to volunteer, join, and promote the Clean and Green program in your community, country, and even in your school, because in that way you can help in our planet Earth to survive these changes and to prolong its life, because at the end of the day, it's still our responsibility to whatever may happen to our planet.
Making these things is only possible if we will become responsible enough to take care not just ourselves, but also our environment.
We must join hand in hand to overcome this problem.
We must help each other. Together, we should save our dying Mother Earth.
Like why we need our planet Earth, it also need us.
Our Mother Earth also needs us to survive. So why not give this favor back to what we really want?
Let's help our environment. Let's help ourselves.
Because at the end of the day, maybe not right now, but maybe tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next decade or next century, at the end of this long journey, it will always be us, humans. We will always be the one to suffer from our own mistakes. And when that time comes, we will definitely regret it.
And that's why we should
Live clean.
Live green.
Let's go and live clean and green.
to save our dying planet.